Now, let's say, for example, I have $1,000, okay, of my fund in spot wallet in Binance. So when I say spot wallet Binance, mean it is in your Binance wallet. Okay, please understand that. So you may call this as your capital. I will call this as your trading fund. So from that $1,000, I'm going to actually allocate 50-50. All right, 50-50. Now, the first 50%, which is $500, from that $500, 20% will be allocated for the trading. So now 20% of $500, that will be $100. Now, $100, okay, $100, if each of the pair is $10, all right, if each of the pair, okay, is $10, I can actually open how many pair? 10 pairs or 10 different currency. All right, and the number of calls that I'm going to use here is 2, and multiply is here 1 and 3. I will explain to you shortly what is this, okay? Don't get confused, just wait for a while. So this is basically the strategy I'm going to use for my low risk. Now, I'm going to have a remaining of 80%, which is $400. Now, this remaining of $400 will be used by the robot to do auto replenishment when the market is actually going against you. All right, so please understand, just because you buy low doesn't mean the market will remain low. The market can even go lower, right? So can you see that? So when the market goes lower, what happens? You have the $400 or 80% for the robot to actually do the automatic replenishment for you without you interfering. So leave the robot to do the job. Now, when the robot is doing the job, right, for example, and that $400 is consumed, so your 50%, which is $500, is totally consumed. And let's say the market further goes down below 20%, all right, below 20, what can you do? Now, you have another 50% of $500 reserve, okay, reserve for the this is your critical fund. So you're going to use this critical fund, this is your critical reserve fund that you can use now to do manual, okay, manual replenishment. So manual replenishment is like you going into the battlefield and you're going to ambush the enemy and you're going to walk out victoriously. Can you see that? So that is a reason why I mentioned to you earlier that what we are doing here is tactical. So there is no technical analysis here. But the market can go down. So even the market go down, you don't have to worry. You are not at loss. All right. But you can basically use the strategy. So you have 50% reserve to counter attack the enemy and you can walk out of the trading, okay, successfully. So this is what I call a 10. You can see 10%, which is $100. And then we have 40%, which is $400. And the remaining 50%, okay, is your reserve fund. Now, let's look practically, okay, practically how does these things work and how should you set up your trading? So here, right, you can see over here. Now, this is the setup, okay? Please follow the setup. So you're going to start with $10, all right? If you have $1,000, you're going to start with $10. So even if you have $100, you're going to start with $10, all right? So don't go higher, okay? Don't go higher when you're using a low risk. Now, number of call here will be 2. Can you see that? That's 2. Your take profit ratio will be 1.1%. Your take profit callback is 0.1. I will explain to you very shortly. Now, when the market goes up by 1.1% and comes back and call back by 0.1, the robot will close the trade in profit. So 1.1 minus 0.1, that will be 1% profit of the $10. Can you see that? Now, when the market actually, all right, the market goes all the way 0.5 and then actually come down, okay, the market come down and hit your first call at 3.5%. What I meant, now, if when you start the order, right, well, from the order, when the market goes down by 3.5%, the robot will automatically open another trade. And this is what we call a replenishment. Can you see that? This is 1 and 3. So this is a multiple. All right. So you can see here, number of calls is 2. Multiple is 1 and 3. All right. So number of call is how many? Only 2. All right. Don't follow the defaulted setting. The defaulted setting will be 5 or 7 calls. That will eat up all your fund in Binance. So don't do that. you can stop the robot. Okay, so in this case, the robot will stop at about 7.5%. All right, so once you hit 3.5 and it comes down further at the second call, that is it. It will stop. Now let's look into the calculation. How much fund the robot will be using if you follow this trade setting. So call 1, when you hit call 1, that will be multiple by 1, right? So 1 times 10 will be $10. Now remember, your first order is $10, right? So $10 plus $10 now is how much? Total $20. So when the first call is hit, your total order now increased by $20. It's a cumulative. Now, if the market goes further down and hit your second call, that will be multiplied by 3. So 3 times 10, that will be $30. And earlier you have another $20. So 30 plus 20, that will be a total of $50. Can you see that? So now, with this setting, the robot will only use a maximum of how much? $50. That's all for each pair. So maximum per pair is $50. So if $50, you have 10 pairs, that will be 500, right? Can you see that? 500 is equivalent to how much? 50%. So it will be used up, okay? It will use up your first 50%. So the trading and the auto replenishment is already taken care for the 10 pairs under this wallet management strategy. Now, if you use $100, please don't go for 10 pair. If you use $100, you can only go for 1 or 2 pair. All right, so please understand that. So the ratio is different. So if I use, okay, let's say $10,000, then the number of pairs can be different. All right, so now note, okay, 50%, which is 500 bullet for contingency, is available for manual replenishment. Can you see that? So now when my 500 is already been used, I still have another $500 here for my manual ambush. Okay, this is my manual replenishment for my contingency. So now, when I have the $500, right, I can do manual replenishment for 10 pairs. But normally, I don't do 10 pairs at once. I will take one by one. All right, so I deal with 1 or 2 pair, and that pair is profit. Then I will then go in and deal with another 1 or 2 pair, and that pair is profit. Then I will deal with the rest. So you don't use up all the contingency fund at one shot. All right, so you do it one by one. Can you understand me? So this is basically the first wallet management strategy, okay, which is the low risk. Okay, which is the low risk. All right.